What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mocs. Today we're doing another basement set, kind of basing it off of these previous Mocs that I've made. The one I made for the basement for the Sanctum Sanctorum, and also the X-Jet hangar for the expansion of the X-Mansion. Yeah, I made those videos. Go check those out. But yeah, so I got this idea to do an NYC sewer underneath the Daily Bugle. So you're gonna see how I accomplish that here. There's gonna be some awesome details, of course, basing this off of just generic New York City and even Spider-Man comics, you know, and just having this very cool sewer system. You got the pipes, you got the green sludge, of course, and we're gonna have Lizard down here. He's gonna be like plotting to transform himself into his new form, of course. Doc Connors is always kind of doing that in the comics. But you're gonna have, you know, the newspapers on the wall. He's keeping tabs on Spider-Man, and of course you got a TV going because he's got to keep up with the news. You know, just tons of lab stuff, files, and a cabinet here, a little microscope, and then even like a little computer that kind of has his energy signature on it. You can see the little human body there as well on the computer. And of course, you're gonna have this cool little sewer system. I thought it'd be cool to kind of leave it exposed here. So I'm accomplishing that with those slope pieces there in the middle, as you can see. And then we're really gonna kind of like dirty it up, grime it up a little bit with like wood on the floor. You know, there's gonna be some rats eventually. But yeah, guys, this is such a cool, iconic scene. I feel like that they could do a Lizard set. Some sort of transformation set would be so cool with Dr. Connors, of course. But yeah, you're gonna have some really cool builds in this. You know, there's the little lights, there's the pipes, of course. And yeah, so also utilizing this desk that Beast has in the X-Mansion. It's actually like perfect. It's got like the little vials on the table, microscope, a really cool lab computer with like DNA on it. So I thought it was perfect to kind of just insert here because he's always kind of doing that, like bringing supplies into the sewers. He's maybe trying to infect the city with the Lizard serum, maybe like in the Amazing Spider-Man. You never know what the Lizard is up to, of course. And we're gonna have this transformation tank, of course, that's gonna be able to spin around, kind of using that old design, basically, kind of like they like to do with like suit transformations, maybe like in the Batcave or such. But yeah, you're gonna have this Doc Connors minifigure utilizing a doctor's torso and then Newman's head and then a blonde hairpiece. You're gonna remove one of his hands, of course, because he's always missing a hand or his arm, you know, and seal him up, of course. But the other side is like a broken glass, using this technique that was kind of used in the Daily Bugle as well. And then we're gonna put the top on, and yeah, it's gonna feel very seamless and it's gonna look really nice at the end of the day. We're gonna add some steps up to the top here utilizing the lightsaber piece. Very cool. Love the design. And I really feel like the Lizard story is so underrated. I really like the Amazing Spider-Man 1. Honestly, like the second one too. The villains aren't the greatest, but the Lizard is pretty cool in that first one. So yeah, we're gonna insert that on there, of course, and we're gonna be using that new Lizard piece, of course, the new Lizard minifigure that we got in the set from 2024. Super awesome to finally get the Lizard. I want a more comic accurate version. That would be really awesome, of course. But we're gonna have it swivel. We're gonna put the top on in a second and you'll see how it's still being utilized. And I love this new pipe element. I know it's like a candle piece. Looks so good. But yeah, guys, really the design for this is very simple. I mean, you just have the little walls here, of course, just using generic bricks. So yeah, and also you're gonna have some containers with some mysterious goo and some different parts because they're always stealing stuff, you know, from laboratories or Oscorp or whatever, right? So you gotta have some cool little vials of some different chemicals, different ooze, and different things that can transform a person into a lizard. And you always gotta have a little computer that has like the on and off switch to turn the person into that mysterious thing, of course. But getting back into the Lizard storyline, I just love how he's, you know, kind of a Peter Parker's mentor sometimes, you know, and kind of is a good guy, but then ends up like the science gets a hold of him. So I really enjoy that, of course. And of course, you gotta have a little mouse there. You can see I put him in there, and then some little wood planks, just kind of to grub it up, you know. It's gotta be nasty down here. It is the sewers after all. It's not gonna be nice. And I thought it'd be interesting if he had captured Captain Stacy. I guess Captain Stacy was getting too close to finding out what he was doing. So of course he's captured him. He's using that cool police torso and legs that is actually Commissioner Gordon's torso and legs from the Lego Batman movie. And then also we got the top here. So the top is an interesting thing with these basement builds. You have to go one stud longer on two of the sides, basically on one of the L's of the corners, they have to be one stud longer to fit a base plate inside. So that's just a little tip for you guys, of course. And you have to have those slopes there to kind of keep the base plates on top of it as well. You're gonna have this little web holding a camera. Of course, Spider-Man's gonna be taking pictures the whole time. He's trying to get some stuff for the Daily Bugle, you know, some good shots of Spider-Man. So yeah. And then last but not least, some little chains. I like to hang some chains from the ceiling as well. Kind of adds a grubby effect, kind of makes it feel lived in for some reason, kind of just adds to it. I think it looks good. So yeah. Oh, and I forgot this last element as well. This is kind of just a pipe with ooze coming out of it. Pretty nasty looking, but actually looks really effective. And then some wiring as well, because the computer needs some wiring to connect to all these computers. We're gonna run it on the ceiling here and then run it into those different elements, of course. And so you can still spin everything perfectly and get Lizard out on the other side. Looks so cool. You could even use maybe a big fig if you wanted to create a big fig. I just didn't have the resources to make a big fig. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's put the Daily Bugle on top. It fits perfectly. It looks good. I'm just so happy with how this turned out. It's so satisfying to do this. I'm probably going to do this for every single modular building Lego set that comes out. Just try to come up with something that could go underneath it. You know, there's so many different ideas. I have an idea for Avengers Tower, which we'll get to here in a minute. But yeah, guys, just look how glorious this is. And you could do this with all of them. If you had all of them, you could make a huge sewer system underneath, have some crazy villain stuff going on. Maybe the Mole Man, I have no clue, you know, go crazy with it. Maybe we'll get the Baxter building. You could kind of do that. That would be sweet, guys. So yeah, let me know how you feel about this. You know, maybe you think this could have been done better. There's obviously better sewer builds out there. I've seen them, of course, but I really tried to make this my own, and just all the little elements make it so much fun, guys. I really enjoyed building this. Really, it's for you guys. You know, somebody said, why don't you make something underneath the Daily Bugle? So I was like, man, I need to think of something. So this is what I came up with, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it looks good. Thank you guys for all your support, and make sure to like and subscribe. We're gonna go into a sick B-roll.